Wonder how they'll do with the other glaring signs Mike points out. In the upstairs bedrooms, Mike spots grow up warning sign number 2, patches on every ceiling.
Okay. This is round, okay? And that is again, look at this, right across here. I'm gonna check every room. Here's another round one right here. That hole is a 10 to 12 inch duct line. These are the lines they're gonna run.
Remember those aluminum vents from the police raid? They went right through the ceiling. Looks like the kind of hole they tried to patch up here. And here. And here.
The ceiling in this room, I mean, it's so wavy. How, is it possible that's just what happens when a house is 18 years old?
No, no.
That's what.
No, that's 16 inch on center, right? And to have that much of a dip right here and then continue those dips, and if you stand back, your eyes can see it, right?
Yeah.
That says there was one hell of a lot of moisture, so much in this room that that ceiling absorbed it.
Back on hidden camera, will these 4 home inspectors catch these signs?
I will just still call it typical minor cracks and imperfections. You can refinish it if you like.
It's okay. It's just not a very nice job.
But mostly it would be cosmetic.
Hard to believe, they all fail to spot the second grow up warning sign. One inspector doesn't even look up.
Another hole. What the hell? You had pipes running throughout this whole house.
And that's not all. One home inspector boasts he's an engineer.
I have my master's in engineering, yes.
But when we check, he's not an engineer, and he's already been warned to stop lying about it.
Total signs.
The attic hatch is in the walk-in closet. And watch this.
I'll put my money on it. I pull up this carpet, I'm gonna see holes in the floor. Right down to the basement. And we do. They cut right through the floor. This was definitely a grow up.
You have a hole going right through your
You sure do. You sure do. And you have structural issues now.
That could be a big problem. Now Mike wants to open up all the floors to check for structural damage.
Remember, they don't care what they do to the house. They're in here to make money. Somebody covered it up and then sold it to you. You know, I don't even need to see the attic, but let's see the attic. Here we go.
And grow up warning sign number 3, mold in the attic.
Oh, you got a lot of mold up here. You do have massive mold on the bottom side over here as well. Okay, you got problems. You got a lot of problems. That's all mold right there.
Oh.
There are other skeletons in this attic too. The remains of those aluminum vents and a huge vent hole. On hidden camera, all the inspectors spend lots of time in the attic. This time, they're sure to catch all that mold.
How does the attic look?
Overall, it's very good. No problem.
So everything looks fine in the attic?
Yeah. I just write down, insulation is still some area.
2 inspectors don't even notice the mold, and 2 others say not to worry.
It's not exactly mold, but it's mildew. That's what they call it. The blackest one is, usually it is mold, but it's not a big deal.
Yep, all 4 home inspectors miss every warning sign.
The last time I saw something like this, we damn near gutted the whole house. As far as I'm concerned, every home inspector that came in here should have noticed what I saw. Real simple.
Hey, boy.
And all that mold, we bring in Frank Haverkate and his mold-sniffing dog to test the air quality. Every time this dog finds mold, he sits. So far, not so good.
I don't ever want to say all home inspectors are bad, because they're not. The problem is, you brought in 1, you brought in 4, and 5 of them missed it. That's not a good sign. That's 100% that missed it.
Yeah, if we knew this house is like that, we would never come inside this house. And
It's too bad I didn't inspect it in the first place, because I would have said run like hell.
Since 4 home inspectors failed to catch the warning signs, we head to the Home Inspectors Association to get some answers.
Not one of them actually spotted that it was a grow-up of the 4.
Wow.
We're taking on home inspectors. 4 of them have missed obvious signs in our grow-up bait house.
Hi, Glenn.
Good morning, Erica.
Glenn Gogol is with the Canadian Association of Home and Property Inspectors. He's president of the Ontario chapter. We show him photos of the bait house.
We brought in 4 home inspectors and asked them to inspect the house to see if they could tell whether it was a grow-op. And here are all of their reports. Not one of them actually spotted that it was a grow-op of the 4.
Wow.
One person mentioned mold in the attic and said it wasn't an issue.
Okay, well then.
Is that acceptable?
Can a random sample of 4 different inspectors miss something like this on one house? I think that's just wrong. Personally, I really do.
What are you going to do about that?
What am I going to do about that? I can, through communication, and send out an email to our membership saying that this is the scenario, and it was 4 out of 4, so like heads up and pay attention.
Send out an email? Turns out, in most provinces, a fine is the most they can do.
There is a lot of protection by hiring a home inspector to give you an evaluation of your property, but it's not 100%. It can't be.
Well, not if they lead you down the path to buy a house that used to be a grow-op. That's not protection.
That's correct, it's not.
It's not like they bought a home and didn't get it inspected.
Correct.
They hired a home inspector.
So what can you do if you get a poor home inspection? BC's the only province that licenses home inspectors, but that still means if you have a problem, the only thing you can do is sue. Just like Teresa. And what does her home inspector have to say? We head to Merritt, BC to show David Mahoney those photos from Teresa's attic.
Page after page of wood covered in mold. You didn't see any of that.
Mold will happen very quickly. So,
But this was a grow-up for a number of years.
yeah, so
These photos were taken just 3 months after his inspection.
I didn't see any mold when I was there.
Said-
Remember, I'm not looking for mold. I'm not a mold expert. I don't have the equipment for that, so that's not part of this inspection.
So would you say this is older than 3 months, this mold?
Absolutely, yes. And I would actually stand in court and say that.
We talked to the home inspector who wrote up this report. He said, it's not my responsibility. I say right in my report I don't look for mold.
What the hell do you look for? You know, what are you looking for, dog hair?
She's now going to be out thousands of dollars.
Okay, we're done.
The bank is foreclosing on her house.
That's not part of my problem here, so.
David Mahoney's wife grabs our equipment and tries to shut down the interview, takes off her husband's microphone. The home inspector won't give us any answers.
She didn't get any protection from you.
So we try the previous owner of Teresa's house. He got busted by police for the grow-op. But on the sales contract, he checks, no, this house has never been a grow-op. And guess where he lives?
I understand the guy who sold you this house lives right next door.
Yeah.
So he sits out on his deck.
Yep.
What's that like?
It just brings back those feelings all the time. It's just like being re-victimized over and over again about how we were deceived.
So we decide to pay him a visit.
Hi, are you Robert Gillum?
Yeah.
Oh, Erica Johnson from CBC Marketplace. I was wondering if you'd talk to us about why you sold a house to Teresa without telling her it had been a grow-op for 10 years.
No one wants to take any responsibility for what happened to Teresa.
People pay for a home inspector because they think they're being protected. Is this protection?
No. No.
I'm-
What did I just show you in this house?
You found a grow-op.
And was it obvious?
To you
Pretty
it was.
obvious. Well, to me it was. But once I started pointing things out, I'll bet you now, from you being with me, you can expect another house and you'll find it before even I have to come there.
If there's such a big problem in Canada, why aren't home inspectors being trained how to identify them?
Because you've never come here before to suggest it. Having more awareness of this situation and bringing it to our attention is a good thing, because it can only help us as an association inform our members.
You could say you can't be a registered home inspector until you've had this formal grow-op training. Why not do that?
Well, maybe it'll happen in the future. I think it's a good idea.
Too late for Teresa. For now, the bank's agreed to give her a break, but she's still waiting for her day in court. And the Persaud's? Our test reveals the mold spores haven't spread beyond the attic. So far, their air quality is safe. And when a mold remediation company hears about their case,
Here we go.
they offer to scrub the attic clean. Some good news, while other former grow-ops wait for unsuspecting buyers.